what's your first kicks? What's that first pair of sneakers you absolutely needed to have?
The first kicks that I needed to have as a young man, I needed them olive green 9s, the originals with the red Jumpman on the back.
I mean, I think just SB Dunks in general, that was it. It wasn't one specific colorway, although I remember like wanting to have a Tiffany Dunk or wanting to have a Pigeon Dunk, but it was just like that model in general, SB Dunk lows. I mean, the first one I had was a mid, but like that was what I needed, early 2000s, mid 2000s.
Yeah.
First pair of shoes I absolutely needed to have. It was 1997, December 11th. Taxi cabs that came out, Jordan 12s.
Yeah.
Definitely needed those. Needed them.
Yeah. Oh man, you know you are.
My grandmother gave me the money for those too, and I was like, I spent that dough instantly. That was $100, and it sucked because that was the only pair of J's I had, and then the other colors started coming out, and niggas was beating my ass at school. Had them like, I had other cats, I had every other color, and I still was on the taxis, but you know, I got more of them now.
Yo, I mean, that's actually like a super magical moment to me. You're just telling me because I remember when those taxis came out, and like my boy was running to go get them shit. So yeah.
Shout out to my grandmother.
Yeah, shout out to grandma.
When Sean Murray shot the strawberries for $15. I needed them.
Yeah.
Them was the ones. A lot of people was getting so much pussy with those shoes, and I just needed to get $15 so I can get me some pussy. But I never got the $15. I never got no pussy. So shout out to you, Marbury, for satisfying the hood for $15 shoes.
That's wild. First of all, because I bought those Starberries.
Oh, so you got some pussy?
No, I did not get no pussy.
Oh damn! Well, what are we talking about? I'm done, y'all. He didn't get no pussy. The interview's over. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let's get it. Shout out to the whole team. Let's get it.
Yeah.
First I ever needed to have probably was some like Air Forces that were the tan camo. No, not the camo, but they were the tan color. So they felt like bread. Maybe it's the bread edition. They're more like tan camo style, but they're Air Forces. Okay. I had a problem. I had at least 7 pairs of those shoes. It was getting out of control, but hey,
what did you do to get them? Like, what did you...
I've waited a couple lines, you know. I woke up disrespectful amount of hours to get those shoes. Fun fact, the only shoes I've ever waited in line for were the Bread 11, the Bread 11 lows, and I ended up not getting them.
Why? What happened?
Imagine getting to the front, this is back when I was young, imagine getting to the front of the line and realizing you don't have the money to purchase what you're in line for.
That's so ridiculous.
Bro, easy answer, bro. Reebok questions.
Okay, and why's that?
I'm from Philly. 1996, Iverson was drafted. I was in first grade. My brother bought them for me, and I cared about sneakers since that very moment.
Great question. So when I was younger, I used to get like good shoes if I got good grades. So the first pair of shoes that I got that I really love, it was the LeBron 2s.
LeBron 2s, I mean, that's not the Zoom generations, are they?
Definitely elementary school days. So yeah, it was definitely the Zoom generations. It was like back when he was in the Cavaliers, I was like 8 and I just wanted to wear them. And once I got them, I felt amazing, and that started my journey.
Oh shit, dude. To be honest, I always wanted the fucking React Juice Grandmama's Converse.
Me too.
Larry Johnson joints with the fucking Charlotte Hornet colorway, bro, like the black one. I always wanted those. Couldn't afford them, so I never had those. And I always wanted the Reebok pumps after D Brown, you know?
Yeah.
Never could afford those either, but you know, now I'm rocking these Travises.
Yeah, we got the Travises.
Wow. I think it was in either. I think it was Reebok pumps, the black top ones. It's either somewhere between like first and third grade. I ended up getting a pair for Christmas, the black with the orange. I think that was one of the first.
The D Browns, right?
No, it wasn't those, but it was similar. It was a similar color, but it was definitely like the black top ones that were made to be worn outside at the time. So those were definitely. That was it.
Dating myself a little bit, but the Dennis Rodman kicks with the zipper, they were called the Worms back in the day. Those are like the first 6 shoes. I remember I was wearing like Sambas before that, but the Worms were like my first like kicks, you know.
What did you do to get them?
I think it's just like a Christmas gift situation. Yeah, just a Christmas morning situation.
First pair of sneakers I absolutely needed to have, probably some SB, man. Like, I want to say the Diamond Dunks, just because I grew up such a fan of Diamond Supply Co. and, you know, Nick's legacy is crazy, and skateboarding and streetwear coming together. I didn't get them when they initially came out. I camped out, struck out, but I ended up working at Diamond years later, and, you know, that's a part of my journey, and I ended up with a pair maybe like 2 years into me working there. I found some, bought them, and, you know, full circle moment for me.
Wait, you found them at Diamond? Like
Nah. I found them on online for a good price, but while I was working there, so it was like a full circle moment for me for sure.
That would have been crazy if you went down into the stock room. You were like,
just like a pair just sitting down there. That'd been crazy, man.
all right, we're here with the legendary Steezus Christ. My man is amazing. But I do a podcast called My First Kicks, so I'm gonna ask you, what's your first kicks? What's that first pair of sneakers you absolutely needed to have?
Yeah, man, for me, the first pair of kicks I needed was the Jordan 11 Concord. I remember being in elementary school, and it was the first time that I ever seen patent leather in real life, and I just knew at that moment, like, it was just a mind-blowing thing. So for me, anytime that shoe retros, even the DMPs that are dropping this year, like, I'm gonna do my best to get a pair for retail, if not multiple, because that for me is like, it's just a nostalgia. It's not even about the resale price or what anything is going on in the market with that. For me, it's just about being a kid, seeing the Jordan 11s for the first time, watching Michael Jordan play in them for the first time, seeing the playoffs be debuted and then turn into what the Breads are now. Like, all that stuff means something to me. So for me, that's the pair that sparked it all, and then the rest is history.
It was Jordan 9s. I remember it was Jordan 9s because my cousin Tranisha, she played basketball and she was a couple years older than me. And to me, she was the dopest, swagged out, whatever, dripped out person, whatever word you want to put on it. That was Nisi to me. And I was like, it was Christmas time. I was a kid. I was like in 3rd grade. And I was like, Mom, I want these. I didn't know nothing about sneakers, none of that. I just wanted to be like my cousin. And that was when I realized, like, adult sneakers are different than kid sneakers.
Yeah.
Because hers had the red button with the detail art on the back, and mine was just a red button.
With the double dogs. Yo, so I do a podcast called My First Kicks, and I wanted to ask you, what's your first kicks? What's that first pair of sneakers you absolutely needed to have?
The first pair of kicks I ever bought was a pair of Chrome Jordan 2s. I bought them from VIM. The year was 2000 and something. It was a very low number in the 2000s. But yeah, I bought it with my own money. Yeah.
What was that first job that you got?
No, I was younger. I was like 8 or some shit like that. I just saved up like birthday money, Christmas money for years and years and years, and then I finally copped a pair, and it was the Chrome 2s.
Oh man, I mean, is it part of like, you know, as an adult or as a kid?
It's however you think it defines you.
I mean, here, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna actually do something for you. I'm gonna show you something that's even crazier than that, because this went back before I even remembered. This is 1st grade.
Wow.
You see what it's on there?
Yeah, I see that, the Jordan. Zoom in on that. Look at that Jordan symbol.
That's original, 1985. When I was in 1st grade.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. Like, I ended up, you know, in that world, but I never would have thunk it, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, I wore Vans, Converse, all that shit. Bo Jacksons, Dion's, Agassiz, Pump.
Yeah.
I actually chose a Pump, and you know, it's not like I grew up like very, you know, middle class in Hawthorne. You know what I mean? Like I was cleaning windows and like doing any little thing you can, trying to cut neighbors' lawns and shit like that, just to you know, get up a little extra cash and get that, you know, 2nd pair of the year.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you know mom's dad bought you a pair school year.
Got one a year.
Right. When you wore it down, you tried to wear it a little more and get that extra, and you're like, dude, I got to get a new one, right? So instead of getting the Jordan 5s in 1990, so I don't know what year you were born.
88.
Okay. All right. So at that point, I chose the first Pump that came in because it was like a gimmick, and it was like, oh man, you know, I gotta get these. So when they retro the 5s again in 2000, that's actually where, you know, a lot of things started. So yeah.
The dude with the deepest closet I've ever seen on Instagram.
Allegedly. Legend has it. I didn't say that. Somebody, the internet, the World Wide Web said that.
Yo, Skate the Great. Yo, been following you for fucking forever, it feels like. But I do a podcast called My First Kicks, and I wanted to ask you, what's your first kicks? What's that first pair of sneakers you absolutely need to have?
And like I bought with my own money, or like somebody bought for me, or like what do you? I need you to break it down for me.
I always tell people it's the story that best defines you. With a sneaker and the story that best defines you.
All right, so I'm gonna go with the first shoe that I bought with my own money. Also did a couple other firsts in that shoe, and that'd be the original 1998 Jordan 13 black and red. The newer generation call it a bread 13. I don't call it that. I call it a black and red.
I mean, that's a classic. That's always a classic. That's not. I was gonna say Flu Games. Is that?
No. That's Flu Game would be the 12.
12.
The 13 is the year after.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that was the first shoe I bought with my own money. Also got my first piece of in that shoe, and that shoe kind of it's a lot of history.
It's got a lot of game, and it gave you a lot of game.
Yeah.